It's getting ready to be crazy out here. We're in a little town just outside of San Salvador, and the bands, the street vendors are out, and the fireworks are getting ready to start here in a little bit, and I do mean some fireworks. So it's gonna be crazy. Never seen anything like this before. We'll see how it goes.
Sin la salsa. Ahí te irá.
noches. Vamos a hacer el llamado al dueño del propietario de las placas P745079, Velasco Antonio Flores. El propietario, si no, va a llegar la policía a quitarle las placas. A todas las personas que están en la tarima también se les pide, por favor, desalojar la tarima porque ya casi da inicio la banda LL. Así que la gente que está en la tarima, les pedimos que desalojen la tarima ya que casi da inicio la banda LL.
Worth a 2-hour drive for sure. Right. Hi everyone. Hey, have we got a hot little number for you tonight? This video is just, well, it's something else. I'd heard about this little town somewhere here in El Salvador that once a year the streets are on fire and there's like an all-out war. And I'm thinking, what in the world are they doing? And yeah, we found it. We went to it. And the town is called Nejapa. I hope. I hope that's correct. But it turns out this is like their 100th edition. Their 100th edition of the Balls of Fire. Anyway, it was a major tourist draw for this little town. As you can see, there are marching bands from, I don't know how many marching bands there were, baton girls from all over El Salvador were there. And that is a big deal down here, the baton girls. I don't know if they get scholarships, if that's another way, which it probably is, to get a scholarship so they can go to college to help them with the finances on that. But there's a bunch of them. And but they do a great job, and the crowd really gets into it. There were food vendors, souvenir vendors, you had politicians and tons of tourists, and of course you had the police and fire. You cannot have an event like this without the police and fire being there to just sort of help and to keep us tourists moving in one direction maybe. Now from the videos you can see how packed the streets were. It started sprinkling a little bit after all the marching bands had done their thing, and the fireworks then had started. And that was probably a good thing that we had a little bit of a sprinkle. It sort of helped wet some things down. Then the fireworks started. They just started doing their thing. It was beautiful. And then I guess some city council members or a group at the podium started throwing out like gift bags. And that was a big hit with the fans and everything. Then the police and fire started clearing the main roads. And then all of a sudden you just had these groups of the participants who were actually going to be throwing the balls of fire. It wasn't just moments after that they had got the road cleared that, you know, it happened. All hell broke loose. From the left, from the right, there was balls of fire being thrown down the street, rolling down the street, hurtled down the street at each other. And then each team advanced, and they would pick them up off the road and keep throwing them. Now, all the observers were back on the sidewalks. I mean, there was not like a safety screen, you know, that probably in the United States, OSHA or whoever, they would have all this stuff, and you know, you would be nowhere near the action. Well, no. Not even hockey. Hockey's got that plexiglass shield. But no, you're right there. The people down on the sidewalks, I mean, they were right there in the middle. And so anyway, all this is going back, and it's like, it is amazing. So much fire going down that street. And then every once in a while, you'll see one get chunked. I mean, it was an accident, I'm sure, into the sidelines. And then people, you know, would be pushing other people out of the way, you know, I guess trying to make sure nobody got hurt, and then kick it back out into the street so that it could be used. And so that was quite a sight to see right there. And then it would die down. It would die down just a little bit, and you think, okay, it looks like this left side is won. And then all of a sudden, they had been regrouping, and they made another assault and charged back in. So it was back and forth like that for a while. And where I was standing, when I walked in at this event, I was just going to look for a good place to stay. And talked to this one person. They were, I guess, with the city council. I said, yeah, I'm here to do YouTube for your event. And they said, oh, well, come with me. I said, okay, I will. And they got me up these stairs on this sort of like an elevated area. And there was other YouTubers and videographers and stuff like that up there doing it. And one of the guys was talking to me. He said, yeah, we're right here in the middle. Both teams, you know, there's one on each side, we're in the middle. And I'm thinking, hey, we're on the 50-yard line. How awesome is this going to be? And I couldn't have asked for a better spot to be in. I just happened to luck out on this one. Anyway, it was all out war, back and forth. It was craziness. Now this reminded me of when I was growing up, of me and some of my buddies in Fort Smith, and then in Greenwood when I moved down there, I think we did some down there too, but we made ball rocket guns. You put ball rockets in, you could light them off and shoot at each other. We had Roman candles, you could shoot at each other. So it was, that was something else. I'm sure one of us got hurt doing that, but we're kids and we do stupid stuff sometimes. But this was like 1,000 times more epic. I kid you not. It was, it was quite an event. Now, like I said, while I was there, I got to visit with some of the other YouTubers. And there's some local YouTubers I met, and I went over their channels and liked their channels and stuff. And it's been pretty cool meeting them. There was a guy in this picture in the green face paint. And he said that the girl took quite a while to do it, and he looked really cool. Had an umbrella, and we were standing, he shared his umbrella with me for a while. And as we was talking and everything, this is a very famous guy. I think just about everybody that's got a television has saw some of his stuff before. But it's Nigel Marvin from Shark Week. Yeah, like Animal, Shark Week. That's him. Anyway, him and his entire film crew were down there shooting a video for a wildlife documentary. And so they happened to be here, I guess, or close to where this happened, and say, hey, why don't we go here and do this? So if you're watching, one of these animal shows, and it's done by Nigel Marvin, and all of a sudden they go from talking about the monkeys or whatever in the trees and all this other stuff to throwing balls of fire. Yeah, that was in El Salvador just last week. Also this last week I was at Walmart making my weekly, bi-weekly, whatever it is, Walmart run, stocking up. Well, they were having a little celebration. 4 years, their store, 4 years, doing this a lot lately I guess. 4 years they've been open at this branch, at this location. And I got to talking to the manager, which my kids, especially Coop, they always say, you talk to everybody. What do you, sorry. But anyway, I was talking to this manager, and I said, yeah, I'm from Arkansas. That's where Walmart sort of started, Bentonville and all the other stuff. And I remember going with my parents when I was a kid to like the first Walmart there in Fort Smith, or one of them. And we talked for a while, and we got his picture. And his name is Jose. And very cool guy. His staff there, they do a great job. But hey, Jose, hopefully you get to see this one. All right. Now, last but not least, another group of people I ran into this last week, and I knew this was going to happen. I knew sometime after I got down here, this was going to happen. And it happened just the other day. Walking through the Multiplaza shopping mall, had to run another errand, and I look, and there in front of me, coming towards me, is that expat mom crew. The whole crew. Carlos, Carol, the kids. I say, hey, expat mom. Anyway, they turn around, and we'd talked before, on Facebook, Messenger, and on YouTube, back and forth and that kind of thing. But honestly, the first time that we actually met face to face, they were just as sweet as could be, just like they come across on the videos. That's how they are. Just very nice people. Enjoyed talking to them. Actually, it was one of the girls' birthday, or 7th birthday, I think. And so they were celebrating that day and all. But yeah, hopefully we'll get to hook up sometime soon, Carlos and Carol and me, and get to have that beverage we were talking about, and just tell some YouTube stuff. So, so I can learn a little bit more for sure. But as far as things coming up on the jdoff-course channel, there is a motocross ATV event I went to recently. It was quite a big deal. They had like 100 participants in it, and I've been talking about using the Jeep, getting it broke in, going on these runs and stuff. Well, I broke it in on this run, and it's still driving, it's still running, but it got broke in. Just a little bit more broke in than what I really really wanted to, at least this early on in its life with me. But that'll be in the next video, the next Sunday, I think it'll be in there. So, hey, thanks for all the likes and the comments, the shares, and when you subscribe. I really do appreciate that. And we will see you in the next one. So, see ya.